Hey Forex Militia, this is Parsival, and this is my weekly outlook from October the 3rd to October the 8th. We have big news this week, and that will be the NFP on Friday. Uh, this week there will be OPEC an OPEC meeting. This is the red news. I've got all this yellow news. I usually take that out. I usually don't want that in there, but what we have is ISM, the Aussie rate statement, the New Zealand statement, both of those. We have the Canadian unemployment and of course the US unemployment, the NFP. So it's pretty much Aussie, Kiwi, CAD, and dollar big red news coming up this week, so be aware of that. And I am going to basically take a look at the weekly charts to give you some trade ideas, possibly some direction on what may come out of the charts this week. Alright, so let's go to the dollar. The dollar on the weekly chart basically has bullish potential. We basically have come out of this area of consolidation, this area of resistance, and now it's tracking up. And it looks like it's going to looks like it's targeting 97.50, which is quite a ways away from here, about $3 higher. So that could take some time to basically reach there. But I'm bullish on Dixie. Somebody call it Dixie. It's DXY, so dollar. On the S&P 500, this is also still bullish, although within the month of September we had a pullback, and a significant pullback, not a really big one, on par with what happened over here, but the usual pullback doesn't actually take you below this, the SSL. When it takes you below the SSL, that's about a 5% pullback or so. What I'm looking to see is if it takes us below the super trend. If it takes us below the super trend, then there will be some very big losses going from October into November. November should be a very good month for the S&P 500, for the markets on a whole. It's a very good month. But there is something looming over the market, which is the Fed said that they would begin to taper, and they're going to pull back on their stimulus. So that could actually wind up causing November, December being some very bad drawdown in the S&P 500, but I'm still bullish. Gold. Okay, so what we have is gold. This is pretty much neutral. The sentiment on gold is actually neutral also right now. But on the short term, I'll go to the daily chart. It is pretty much bearish. It's got a bearish tone to it. It just basically dropped and hit this level of support over here around these lows, but it's come back up with a vengeance and ended up above a support. It ended up above a resistance line, so it broke through. And now what it'll probably do is, as you can see down here on my ADX, it'll range for a bit. Now, with the strong dollar going where it's going, I still have a very bearish outlook on gold, but for the short term, it might range a little bit. Okay. Bitcoin is, I have a bearish outlook on Bitcoin. This last week, it was actually pretty much bullish. It had a bullish tone to it, but my super trend is giving me a signal, and this one I'm going to follow as it being somewhat bearish. So far, it's at 48,000 today. This is I'm recording this on Saturday, and it's looking very bullish, but I have a bearish sentiment on this. Interestingly enough, sentiment though says it's long, but I'm gonna go with my discretion. I'm gonna call it and say that Bitcoin is going to be bearish. Once again, this is just a trade idea, so check your own charts to make sure that you have the same outlook as mine. Okay. Oil is bullish. You've got the OPEC meeting that is going on this week, and I do believe there will be some pullback. What's a better word? There will be tapering of oil. No, they will be withholding some of the production of oil. So I believe the oil is going to run on a tear all the way up to about 80 or so. I have a target up here around $80. So that's my outlook on oil. On the CAD, because of oil basically going bullish, I do believe that the CAD is going to benefit from that, and the CAD is going to be strong on the loonie. So I believe it's going to fall. Even with, now it's going to be a wrestling match between the dollar and the CAD to see who actually wins out, but I think the CAD is actually going to win out on that one. So right here, as you can see, sentiment is short, and this was actually a pullback into the 618 on the weekly right here on the 618, and so I believe there will be some bearish sentiment going on. That not bearish, I have a bearish outlook on the CAD, on the loonie. Okay, so next, the euro. On the euro, once again, as I basically forecasted last week, it's going to be bearish. We've got a bearish outlook on sentiment also, and this will basically run down to, I've got some support here at 1.14, and it's looking very bearish. So that's what that is on the euro. On the pound, also bearish because of, once again, the dollar going bullish, and that will probably run down to 1.32. Definitely down to this area where this is the 100 moving average. On the GBPUSD, this is in a range. So even though I'm looking at this on the weekly chart, I would most likely go down to the 1 hour, to the daily or the 4 hour and have a look-see at what is going on inside this wedge. Okay, so looking at this it fell down and then it pulled back up. So giving that nod to that's very interesting to see. Yeah. So it's looking very bearish on this lower time frame. But here it looks like it's all inside, but it's looking very bearish. So I'm going to switch that over to a bearish outlook, even though the sentiment says that it's neutral. On the dollar yen. The dollar yen looks bullish because of the dollar's bullishness. My setup has this looking long, and there is resistance up at I don't want to change that, 113.75. And I have that up here. That this is a weekly resistance. You go back, you can see it hitting a couple of points back there. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 113. On the euro pound, I have this as actually in a range. It says it's neutral, but the overall tone is looking bearish. Now, there's bearish sentiment, but because I'm seeing this on the QQE, there is bullish divergence. So I'm going to probably see this run back up into this area over here around 88.20. And that will be a retracement. I have two areas, two alerts marked off over here. So somewhere in this area, I believe it'll run back up into. That would be possibly, let's take a look at the Fibonacci, where that actually would be. That would be a 50% retracement. 50%, 618 up here, 50 over here. Okay, now it does have to get past this area right here, 0.87. This is resistance to this right here, but I do believe it'll probably run up a little bit further. So I'm looking for the euro to actually be stronger than the pound. Okay, on the Aussie Kiwi, the Aussie Kiwi has just bounced off of resistance, and you get this big bullish candle, and I believe that it's going to run back up into this area over here, which is the 618, the 5618. All right, in this area over here, and this is weekly resistance. So I have this marked off right in this area over here, and that is well, let's see, that is 106.10 to 106.50, right in that area. And as you can see, that's right here around the 100 moving average. Okay, so that's my weekly outlook for October the 3rd to October the 8th. And I hope you stay tuned, because next I'm going to go into some market trends and some seasonal cycles with TradeMiner 5.0. Okay, so here we are on the Loonie, and we basically had a trade idea to basically take this long between September 20th and September 28th. And with technical trading, I basically made, and I showed you this last time, small amount of money, about $35 and $8, and it came out on us. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little recap so you can see what I basically did in that last video. My TradeMiner, I started this at the beginning of the year, and right now I'm looking at the euro, the Loonie, which I did take a position on already, and wanted to show you what I did here. There we go. And I'm on TradingView, and right now the position is in the green, right? And as you can see, it's at 80% accuracy for 12 years in this time frame, the 20th to the 28th. So that's about 1 week, a week and a day, I believe. Okay, and we're back. And the idea that I have from last week's was to basically trade the pound CAD, and I got a new trade idea for you for the Euro Swissy. Alright, and so far I'm positive both on the technical and the blind trading on both of these, although marginally. Alright, there was also a trade idea for the pound yen that I did not take. And that one is for the future. And that one's going to come up, I believe, October 7th. That's why I didn't take it. I had to remember that one. So that's that. And then there was another trade, which is switching over to stocks for Fluidime. And the Fluidime trade is actually going well on the blind trade. I haven't taken it technically just yet because I did not have the signal. But with this here, I can take it technically going down into this end of this cycle. So I will do that Monday, and we'll see exactly what type of gains that I can make from trading it technically versus trading it blindly. Okay, so I have one new trade idea for stocks, not Forex, and it is Starbucks. The trade date is from October 2nd to December the 7th, and this is on SeasonX. You can basically, there's a link in the description for you can either join with a paid subscription or for free, and they will give you free calls on some of the stocks, Forex, futures, and there you go. This one is a 100% winner over the last, I believe, 10 years for this one, 10 years. And the usual return is about 10%. That's the median return. And so with that, I will say knowledge is power. Be power hungry and power to the people. This is Parsifal signing out.